Hello friends from a country that seemed to be very close and now is again pretty far away because of the COVID crisis. I'm talking about Thailand in 2021 and Phuket in 2021. I've known this island since I was a child because most of my relatives have been living here for almost 4 decades. And I think now it's really time for a new beach report because so many things have changed over here. Tourism has almost completely collapsed, but nature has really profited from it, and so have the beaches. So we're gonna visit over 20 beaches on this island. We're also gonna see a bit of the hinterland of the capital, Phuket town, and we're also gonna have 1 or 2 coffees. So come with me on this really exciting trip. Like in my report 2 years ago, I'm starting here in the southern tip of Phuket, Laem Phromthep or Phromthep Cape. And if you've seen my report 2 years ago, you know already that a big part of my family have been living here for over 35 years. So I know this since my childhood. I also speak Thai and this is kind of a second home to me. Well, we're gonna visit all the big and famous beaches of Phuket, but also a couple of private beaches, and we're also gonna do some detours into the hinterland of the beaches. I can only say a lot of things have changed. Tourism has collapsed by over 99%, and those hotels that are open are still quite empty. They have a booking rate of less than 9%. So I can only say, if you have the time to travel for quite a long time, then you should really travel now and visit this country now, because it's just very beautiful right now and a pretty big experience. Anyway, I would say let's start now and go to the first beach.
On the way to our first beach, we're driving all along the large Chalong Bay, which is the starting point for most boat tours and ferries to the neighboring islands. Normally, this place is super busy during daytime. At the moment, however, it's incredibly quiet here because all ship transport has almost completely stopped. However, this should change significantly this winter season at the latest if there's not another crisis. But now we have arrived at Ao Yon Beach.
Ao Yon is a beach in the south of Phuket, east of Chalong Bay and very close to Harn Cape. And actually I find this beach pretty charming. However, today there are so many people that I kind of hesitate to take off the mask. There's also a hotel being built in the background, and 2 years ago I thought that would be a Mövenpick hotel. But it's another hotel called Panwaburi. You can already see the name, and I think they're gonna open already this winter. And then we have to see if this little beach can hold so many people. In the meantime, it's a nice beach to look at and then go on. Only a few minutes by car from Ao Yon Beach, with all the new hotels being constructed, you have this beautiful viewpoint called Khao. And from here you see all over Chalong Bay with all these boats over there and the boat pier for the ships. They go to other little islands or famous islands like PP Island. And then you also see over there to the big Buddha on top that hill. And on the other side of the hill you will see Kata Beach and Karon Beach. Well, and then of course you also have the other islands here in front with wonderful names such as Coral Island. Unfortunately, that doesn't have much to do with corals anymore, except for the corals that got killed by way too many tourists by just stepping on them for decades. And we can just hope that this absence of tourists for a certain time will help the corals to recover. And anyway, in the meantime, we can enjoy this beautiful view all over Chalong Bay.
On the other side of Chalong Bay is long Rawai Beach. During normal times, it gets quite busy here with many cafes and beach restaurants. However, hardly anybody comes here to swim.
Rawai Beach is a bit of an exception during the crisis because nothing has changed much over here. People don't come here to swim anyway because the sun is not so great. The sand is kind of almost muddy, very, very soft, and there's mostly boats anchoring here. So there's fishermen and also boatmen who would bring tourists to some other islands around here. Other than that, if you saw my beach report from 2019, we had almost low tide and there was lots of beach. You could see lots of the beach, and now we have almost the highest point of high tide and the beach is almost gone. Well, but otherwise it's a nice place to just sit down in the evening to have a dinner. Over there there's some restaurants. We don't sit directly with your feet in the sand, but you sit by the street, but with a nice view over the beach and over the sea.
Passing by Laem Phromthep, we're continuing to our first really large swimming beach. Shortly before that is Nui Beach. It's pretty well known as a beach for wedding pictures, but it's never really impressed me. The most beautiful, really big beach in the south is right next to it, Harn Beach.
Only a few minutes by car from Laem Phromthep or Phromthep Cape, you find this beautiful beach over here. That's Harn Beach. And as you can see right now, it's not really empty, but there's quite a number of tourists over here, which is nice, but also really unusual during this time of COVID. Anyway, you see there's a pretty nice hotel over there. That's the Harn Hotel. And for the rest, there's not big construction, except for the one that you see behind me over there. You see there's quite a big construction being planned. They already started to develop the underground, so to speak. And well, there's gonna be quite a big construction going on there in a short time, I guess. But until then, we can enjoy this really beautiful beach, which is not empty, but also not too full right now.
Directly in front of the Harn Hotel, there's a small street that is easy to miss. It leads you to another small, pretty beach, the Sane Beach.
In only a few minutes you get from Harn Beach to this little cute beach called Sane. And it's quite nice for snorkeling. It's not so fantastic for swimming because most of the beach is rocks, especially the right side. The left side is okay, sandy. You can walk into the sea and then swim from there. Otherwise, it's pretty small, you can see that, but they have a restaurant and you can have a drink or two or have some nice seafood dinner or lunch. They're open right now in this quite difficult time.
Passing by one of those touristic elephant camps which unfortunately still exist and which have been fighting for survival for over a year now, our next stop is for a beach that since the boom of Instagram cannot be called exactly an insider tip anymore, but for me it's actually a premiere today. Nui Beach. The only thing that spares it a little from mass tourism still, apart from the current crisis, is the incredibly, fabulously bad road here, because these two dogs here live by a dream beach.
Well, friends, I'm really feeling blessed today, not only because it's the first not rainy day in a couple of days. I cannot say sunny, but not rainy. But I'm also the only guest today on this very beautiful beach, Nui Beach. It's a private beach, and you can theoretically also come here with your own motorcycle or car, but I really don't recommend it. I really recommend to take the little shuttle that they offer. It's only 100 baht, which is not much when you think that in normal times tuk-tuk drivers charge 200 to 300 baht for a very simple road down in Patong. Here 100 baht will bring you down a super dangerous, super destroyed road and you will arrive safely. Anyway, you have this beautiful beach today all to your own, and I think it will not change for the rest of this year. Even when we get into high season and even when people are allowed to travel again, it won't be exactly like before the crisis. So you will still have quite amazing time here and quite amazing moments here.
And a whole series of photo spots have been set up for pictures if you don't want to search yourself.
Then you walk down this little path and see a couple of Instagram spots, like here Nui Beach swing and this little tuk-tuk that probably comes from Bangkok a long time ago. Then you see the Phuket swing script here, and behind it you have really 2 free swings, and behind that you have an even cuter, even smaller beach, and now even the sun is coming out. I cannot believe it. I'm so blessed today, and I'm also very impressed because I've been coming to this island for over 30 years, since my childhood, to see my relatives, and this is the first time that I finally get to see Nui Beach, and this is a place to come to. Have you booked your ticket in the meantime? And also very interesting to see is here you see the sand. It's not super fine sand, but it's really nice sand. But the fact that it's not so super fine makes the water look very beautiful even when it's a little stormy, because the beaches with very fine sand get a little dirty. They look a little dirty. They're not dirty, but they look like that because of the fine particles in the water. Here you get this beautiful blue color still. And also, this beach goes towards south. I mean, it's facing towards south, and that makes the plastic not come in here, because when you go to some other large beaches on the west coast, you have a lot of plastic on the beach that comes in from the sea, because the currents are like that. Anyway, Nui Beach, a very nice, very clean, very, very beautiful beach that also reminds you a little bit of the Seychelles when you see the granite boulders on the sides. An absolute recommendation. I'm very happy to be here now.
And after these beautiful impressions, we are starting our tour of the many famous beaches of the west coast, with a view over Kata and Karon.
And here we are at Kata Viewpoint, which is called Karon Viewpoint today. But anyway, you see all those beaches. Karon Beach in the very background, and then also the 2 Kata beaches, Kata Yai and Kata Noi. And you see the beach is beautifully empty right now. And also this place where I am now is normally very popular with tourists. So you would see lots of tourist buses and minivans and taxis waiting for customers. But today there's nobody except for my uncle and myself. And we can just enjoy this beautiful, magnificent view over these beautiful beaches on the west coast.
With so much beach stress and great views going on, you have to cool your brain once in a while. And a great place for that is the brand new Hill Cafe, a few hundred meters below the viewpoint. Their iced cappuccino comes from original Italian machines and tastes really excellent. And in the garden or indoors with air conditioning, the cakes, tarts, croissants and macarons taste extra good. Kata is divided into 2 bays, Kata Yai and the smaller Kata Noi. Everywhere on the island you can feel how nature has been able to take a breath during the forced stop of mass tourism. You see more birds, more fish, and of course there's less rubbish lying around. And when the weather is calm, the water is wonderfully clear.
With crystal clear water, we are at Kata Yai Beach, the larger of the 2 Kata beaches. And it's pretty popular because it's a very beautiful beach, like half round shaped and with very, very nice sand, almost white sand, and good hotels in the back of the beach. But also today there's more people actually than in Patong or in Kata or in Karon, but also here maybe there's altogether 20 people on this still more than a kilometer long beach. So pretty impressive, and also one of the places where I say this is like Phuket as it used to be 30 years ago.
Out of interest, I was here again on the weekend and suddenly there was actually a completely different picture than on the other large beaches, such as Patong, which had always been empty in the past few months. The reason is probably that some hotels in Qatar are offering their rooms at extremely low prices on weekends in order to keep things going at least a little. See for yourself.
Wow, friends, I must say I'm totally surprised right now. I'm feeling like in time travel because this is how it used to look 2 years ago, I mean before the crisis hit in, or how it might look again, hopefully, after the crisis is over. Because this is a pretty busy beach and you see there's even some surfers over there. I mean, surfing school is there with customers.
And it looked so lively on all Kata Yai Beach on that weekend, almost like at normal times. But now let's take a detour to the pretty smaller Kata Noi Beach.
And here we are at the smaller of the two Kata beaches. That's Kata Noi Beach. And that's actually more or less occupied by one resort. That's the Kata Tani resort over there. And the shore by Kata Tani over there. That's private villas, or actually villas that belong also to this resort. And then there's some private luxury houses just down over there on this side or this end of the beach. It's very nice to see that it's pretty populated now by visitors or by vacationers. But I must say the real luxury at the moment on Phuket Island is to have a huge empty beach to oneself like Karon or Patong. That's, I think, luxury you can otherwise never have on such a famous island as Phuket.
And it's also very impressive when otherwise popular hotels suddenly become available as if they had opened for your private use, with all the warm hospitality and fantastic food that you know from Thailand. Otherwise, almost all shops are closed. During the day as well as at night, the beach towns are pretty deserted and it's very quiet even on otherwise extremely popular tourist streets like here between Kata and Karon. Isn't this just amazingly beautiful? This is Karon Beach in May 2021. There are thousands of hotel beds in the hinterland, but most of them are currently empty, and the beach looks untouched like it was long ago when there was no tourism here.
Here we are at the beautiful southern end of Karon Beach, one of the biggest beaches of Phuket Island, and you can see there's a family of 4 over there in the water, and then there's my cousin and myself. And before I was just flying over the beach with my drone and I saw 3 more people on this 3-kilometer long beautiful beach. Well, maybe you've seen my beach report from 2 years ago. I was on the other side of the beach and it was a little less beautiful weather than today, and there were many more people because normally this is a beach very popular with families, and there's lots of restaurants around here, lots of hotel rooms, and I mean you can see behind myself, behind is Beyond Karon, and nice hotel too, and I think it's even open, but I haven't seen any customers, just like at the Marina Resort Phuket, which I like so much, where I stayed now a night even though my family live here. We were the only customers, and yeah, it's pretty impressive. It's pretty sad, but it's also just very beautiful. This is like Phuket 30 years ago, when I tell people stories about how it used to be. This is how it is right now.
But we're actually just getting started now with these southern beaches of Phuket. Next we visit the most famous beach of the island, Patong Beach, with a few small dream beaches just around the corner. And we're also going into the jungle and see how natural rubber is harvested. All of that in the second part, and of course we'll also take a look at the many other well-known and lesser-known beaches all over the west coast. And in between I'll also show you a couple of nice places for food and drinks along the road. If you enjoyed this first part of the beach report, please give me a thumbs up, give me your comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That would make my day. See you again very soon here at Travel, Sing, Fly.